14. In this lesson, we are going to discuss some topics from eSkill Learner Level 7, page 71, Chapter 3, Task 1. And the topics are programming the computer, what is a program, resources required are textbook and computer. In this lesson, we will perform hands-on activity given on page number 71 of the textbook. This will also help you in the project of this week, create snakes and ladders game. Okay students, before starting our today's lesson, let's have a recap of our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, we discussed what is a program, what is an algorithm, what are pseudocodes, and what are flowcharts, what are the symbols we use to make flowcharts. Our today's objective is students will be able to learn how to make an algorithm through a flowchart. Okay students, you know this process. This is the process when anything gets done by the computer. You start it. For example, you want to play a song, you want to play a movie, or you want to type any document. First you have to start, you have to think what you are going to do on your computer. You start it, then you start giving input to the computer. You can give it input by keyboard, by mouse or microphone or any other input devices. You can give the input to the computer. After that, computer processes that input. The processor, CPU, central processing unit, processes that input and gives you the output. And after that, the program ends. This is the process we are going to use in our algorithm, in our flowchart. First, we are going to start algorithm and flowchart. Then we are going to give the input, and after that it is going to be processed, and then we will be having the output, and after that our flowchart or algorithm will be ended. Students, do you remember these symbols? What are these symbols? Why we use these symbols? Yes, you are right. These are flowchart symbols we use to make flowcharts. This is start and end, decision symbol, flow lines, input and output symbol. This is process symbol. Students, let's discuss their function. This symbol is used to start and end the flowchart. This is the flow line. These are called arrows, which transfers the control of flow to the next instruction which is going to be executed. This is the input and output symbol. You give input through this symbol and then you get output through this symbol. And the next one is process symbol. When anything is processed, when anything is done, let's say you want to plus 2 plus 2, that calculation, adding 2 into 2, that is called process in computer, and we use this symbol to process any instruction. This is decision symbol. When you have to choose from two different options, from A or B, you are going to use this symbol. You must remember in our previous lesson we had an option to choose whether we are going to have our breakfast or not, we are feeling hungry or not, so we used decision symbol. Students, we are going to use these symbols to make our flowchart. In this lesson, we are going to make a flowchart in which we are going to create a game, which we discussed before, that today we are going to create a game, snakes and ladders game, which you must have played in Ludo game. So we are going to make a flowchart that is going to show this game. So let's start it. Okay students, these are the game instructions we are going to follow in our flowchart. Number 1 is start the game. Number 2, throw a dice. Number 3, move your counter the number of steps on the dice. Here we have two conditions, condition 1 and condition 2. In condition 1, did you stop at the base of a ladder? No. Check for the second condition. Yes. If yes, then move your counter up to square that top the ladder rests on, and then roll again. And condition 2 is here. Did you stop at the head of the snake? If yes, move your counter down to the square with the snake tail on it and roll again. And if B option no, check if you are on the last square. No, roll again. Yes, and game ends. So these are the instructions we are going to follow in our flowchart. Okay students, so let's start our flowchart. Start. After that, throw a dice. Throwing a dice is a process, that is why we have used processed symbol. And after that, you have to move counter by values shown on your dice. So that is also a process. We are using process symbol here. And after that, you have to make a decision. You have two options here, yes or no. Landed at the base of ladder. You can either land at the base of ladder or you can land on the base of snake's head. So condition 1 is here. Did you land on the base of a ladder? If yes, move up the ladder. If your condition is true here, you landed at the base of ladder and it's true, so then you have to move up the ladder. And after that, give dice to the next player. Students, if condition 1 is true, yes, then you have to perform this task. But if it's not true, you have to check the second condition, and the second condition is if you are not landing on the base of ladder, then did you land on the snake's head? If yes, slide down to the snake's tail, and after that come here and give the dice to the next player. But if you did not land to the snake's head, then you have to go to the next condition. So here you have to make a decision. If you are landing on the snake's head, then you have to move down to the tail of the snake, and if not, then you have to check the next statement. Let's say we did not landed on snake's head, so let's check the next statement. That is, did you reach the last square of the game? If yes, you are the winner, Yahoo. But if not, you are not at the last square, then come back here and give the dice to the next player. So these are the three conditions which you have to check while moving your dice on the game. Did you land on the base of a ladder? Did you land on the head of snake? Or you reached the last square? If any of these conditions is true, then you have to perform these tasks. If these conditions are true, you have to perform these tasks. And if this condition is true, you are the winner. So you are going to perform all these conditions every time you throw your dice. Whenever you are going to throw your dice, you have to check these three conditions. Whichever is true, you are going to perform task accordingly. So this is the flow chart, this is the game. You throw your dice, then you move the counter by the value of the number shown on the dice, and then you have to check, did you land on the base of the ladder or did you land on the head of the snake? If any of these true, you have to perform one of these tasks. But if both not true, if this is not true, if this is not true, then this must be true. Students, one of these statements should be true. If any of this statement is not true, it means you are not playing the game right. So one of the statements should be true, this one or this one or this one. If this is not true and this is also not true, then this must be true. You must have reached the last square of the game, and then you are the winner and your flowchart ends. So this is very easy and interesting. I hope you can perform it on your page. So it's very easy. Please follow the instructions. While following instructions, you have to make sure that you are going to check from these two instructions, these two conditions. If it's yes, then you have to perform this one. If it's no, then you have to check the next one. So these are the instructions you are going to follow in your flowchart while making this flowchart game. Okay students, it's wrap up time. Today we discussed about hands-on activity, page number 71. We made a flowchart of games, snakes and ladders. Now I'm going to share the success criteria with you people. Remember to follow step-by-step instructions in order to solve any problem. Definitely you are going to follow the steps while making flowchart. And then most important, functions of symbols of flowchart. If you know the functions of symbols of flowchart, definitely you are going to use correct symbol for every purpose. So please keep in your mind the functions of symbols while using them in your flowchart. Your assignment is practice hands-on activity page 71. Submit the project of week 14, and these are the instructions about your project. Number 1, present your steps in a flowchart. Number 2, present the written work form as follow. Week, mention the week, then subject, then date, then write project name, then write resources needed, then steps followed, step 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and then you have to mention the name of the person who helped you. After that, write a thank you note to a person who helped you, attach it with the assignment, take pictures of your project during different stages and attach scanned copies with the assignment. Note, submission of project work in written form is mandatory. Students, take care of yourself, your parents. Thank you and have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.